Hey there, Kilters. It is JT here once again with another episode of Fireside Dram with JT. I'm here with my friend Mike Price. He's out to do some modeling for us and decided we were going to film an episode while he was out here.
I appreciate you having me out here. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming out. This is going to be fun. If you've watched our first couple of episodes, you know that Fireside Dram is basically just me chatting with people, drinking some good whiskey, and talking about whiskey and whatever else comes up. This episode, we have our third in a series of the first Whiskey Academy lesson from Flaviar. I don't know. It's at some point they'll contact me. They'll see these episodes and contact me and tell me how to pronounce their name and maybe give me something else to taste. That's, always looking for that angle.
That'd be nice. Very nice.
So the last couple episodes we had the what did we have? It says it here. Yeah. We had the Rossville Union Master crafted straight rye whiskey and the St. George Baller American Single Malt Whiskey. The American Single Malt Whiskey was amazing.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
That was something I'm not used to.
So I need to figure out a way to get a third chair in here so I can be here every week.
Episode. Yes, there's a lot of people who come on who decide they really should they want to be able to come on more often.
Oh, yeah. I think for quality control, it'd be very important for me to come by and make sure everything's all right.
Would like to point out, Mike's got on one of our older leathers. This is from our very last days, but still holding up just fine. Honestly, I can't remember what the name of that one is. But with that, I think it's time to look at what our next whiskey is. We're doing the Corn Trooper United Craft Bourbon Batch Number 1.
Wow.
This is 7 straight bourbons from 7 states blended into one all-American whiskey. Now, my question is this a full product, or is this something that was a special blend? And you'll see me. I'm asking past the camera because Beth Ann is the kind of person who has already looked this up for us.
I think they made a small batch of it, but I don't think it was that small of a batch. But it is very expensive.
Oh.
It's almost $200 for a 750 milliliter bottle.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
So you guys are in for a treat.
You just missed my birthday, unfortunately enough. Would have been nice, but...
So it is an expensive one.
I always like to smell it right in the bottle, just as oxygen's getting to it right at the beginning.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I was mentioning I do primarily single malt scotches.
Yeah.
But very, very few American whiskeys, but that smells really nice.
So this, of course, it says 7 bourbons from 7 states. The appellation laws would have an issue with that bourbon still. What?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Bourbon still generally has to come from Bourbon County, or at least in Kentucky. Bourbon has to come from Kentucky.
Okay. Otherwise, it's a sparkling scotch.
Basically, yeah. It's sparkling whiskey.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and pour us about a third of this.
Wonderful.
I'll give you that one, and I'll take this one and pour another third. Now, I have always been just a little bit of water in my whiskey because you got to open it up some. So we've got a couple of ice cubes here. We'll drop that in and give it a second to chill and melt just a little bit.
All right.
But we can be the pretentious sniffers while that's happening.
If you'd like, I can tell you the 7 distilleries that it comes from.
Absolutely.
Well, that'd be great.
Happen.
So from Washington State, we have Ula Distillery.
Oh.
Colorado, the Breckenridge Distillery. Texas with the Balcones Distillery.
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina with the High Wire Distilling. Kentucky with the Hartfield and Company. Michigan with New Holland Brewing. And New York with the Kings County.
Okay,
so I know people in 5 of those 7 states, so I can get some bottles sent out my direction.
This is 101. This is 50.5% alcohol.
Ooh.
This is gonna put hair on your chest.
Again?
So,
oh, that is beautiful.
So when you work with blended whiskeys of any sort, now this one doesn't have an age on it, which means it's probably got some very young whiskeys, which doesn't surprise me. Bourbon is not something that needs to be aged extensively. It can be, and it does improve it, but you can drink bourbon after 3 or 4 years.
Now, is that just because of the processing or the procedure that they use for getting it together, or versus like the single malts overseas? Which are like years.
It's palatable earlier because it's mostly the corn. Okay. Bourbon has to be at least 51% corn, as opposed to rye or barley or any of the other grains that you can use to make whiskey. But bourbon itself is corn, and corn is just a milder grain when it comes to aging.
Gotcha.
So with that, I think I'm about 25% down on my ice cube, so I think we're here. So Sláinte.
Sláinte. Yes, thank you.
So, when they blend whiskeys, basically they're aiming for a specific flavor profile because you've got 7 different whiskeys in here. So, so you're not going to taste any of the individual characteristics. No. They're going for that gestalt almost.
Because the flavors individually will create a particular style or particular taste, but then the flavor of all 7 is what they're actually trying to achieve.
Yeah. So, and what you would expect is as you get to blends, what they're doing is they're sanding off the edges. They're making the whiskey smoother to drink, a little less sharp, less rough. And I think they've done an amazing job.
They did a great job on
that. Even at 101 proof, this is still a sippable whiskey. Whereas if you look at Bacardi 101,
you take a shot of that and you're like,
yeah.
And this is tremendously smooth.
What do we got for flavors? What are we tasting?
So the front end of this is actually a lot more open than I expect out of a bourbon.
Which I think is primarily because of the blend. And you're talking about 7 different states. They're also using
7 different
different waters and 7 different ingredients, which are being produced by the waters of their locale.
Absolutely. That is. I'm trying to find another word other than open, but the start of the mouthfeel, the front of the mouth, is. I'm trying to identify a flavor in there. What's coming to mind is plasticky, but not in a bad way. And I'm trying to figure out what that means.
Now, I don't know enough. I'm not educated enough with the different particular flavors, but from a comparison standpoint, as I was saying, I do a lot of single malts. I'm sensing like a almost there's a very similar flavor kind of palette to Glenfiddich. But like a hint of it, not like this is the same thing.
So, a bourbon typically would be very caramelly. That is what you expect: caramel, maple, that kind of stuff. This, I'm feeling oak really far forward. That's what it is. It's a bitter tannin that I'm tasting.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is. Definitely, it's more oaky than anything else.
And that's going to be part of it being cask proof.
But it's not so prevalent that it's distracting.
Did you have anything that you wanted to share with the audience, such as it is?
Well, I am very surprised. Well, a lot of people are kind of surprised that an African American wearing kilts, And I've actually been a kilt wearer for a little over 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to play in a Celtic band back in the 90s called Sheer Pandemonium. And had my first kilt made for me when I was doing Renaissance Fair, and have been wearing kilts off and on ever since. And then, of course, meeting you, and then buying this and a few other kilts from you, and just enjoy them whenever I can. I don't wear them when I'm riding my motorcycle, however. I tend to not do that.
It is a skill that few people have.
That's very true.
The time to develop to wear a kilt on a motorcycle. I have seen it done. I would not recommend it. Granted, I have the human crayon fear, and you even in a leather kilt, you don't.
Well, no, but I also wear the chaps, so at least the legs are somewhat protected.
Yeah,
but I've been a big fan of wearing kilts for a while, and looking forward to some holiday kilts, particularly because besides doing the day job accounting, I'm also a musician, and I'm a hired tenor for a couple of groups, church groups, and I also play with the Los Angeles Recorder Orchestra. I am also a professional Santa Claus.
Oh, awesome! Yeah. Well,
so it'll be cool too.
I'm feigning surprise because there's a reason he's here modeling, and you'll probably know that before you see the episode if you're following along. But Mike is one of our preeminent Santa Clauses in the Southern California area. And so when I got the kilt that we're going to be modeling, you'll understand why I called him to come on out. With that, I think we've prattled on for quite enough time at this point, and it's getting a little warm in here. It's much cooler, hopefully, when you're watching this than it was when we were filming it. But thank you for coming around, and
thank you very much, and thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure, man.
Thank you.
We'll catch you next time. Thank you, guys.
So long, Mikey.